Have you ever been left by someone you thought would never walk away? A partner who promised forever, a friend who swore loyalty, or even a family member who was supposed to love you unconditionally? That pain, the shock, the betrayal, the emptiness, it cuts deep. And when it happens, your first instinct might be revenge. You want them to hurt like you're hurting. You want them to regret it. But what if I told you the best revenge has nothing to do with them, and everything to do with you? A few years ago, I watched a close friend go through a brutal breakup. Her partner of 5 years left her out of nowhere for someone else. At first she begged. She cried. She sent angry texts at 2 a.m. She stalked his social media, obsessing over every post. And you know what happened? He ignored her. He moved on like she never mattered. But then, she did something unexpected. She stopped reacting. She disappeared. She started working out, taking new classes, traveling solo, and building her dream career. And guess what? Months later, he came crawling back. But by then, she didn't even care. When someone leaves you, the pain hits like a shockwave. Your first instinct might be to fight back, to make them feel what you're feeling. Anger floods in, whispering that if you just hurt them the right way, they'll finally understand the damage they've caused. Maybe you want to scream at them, expose them, or beg for answers. Maybe you've already spent nights scrolling through their social media, analyzing every post, every like, torturing yourself with questions. Are they happier without me? Do they even miss me? But here's the hard truth. Revenge, the way we usually think of it, almost always fails. Because when you chase after someone who walked away, when you demand their attention through pain or desperation, you're handing them all the power. Every angry text, every public outburst, every late-night plea just confirms one thing to them: you still care. And when they see you care more than they do, it doesn't make them regret leaving. It makes them feel validated. They might pity you, or worse, feel relieved they made the right choice. Science actually explains why rejection messes with your head so badly. Studies show that emotional pain, like heartbreak, triggers the same brain regions as physical pain. That's why being left can feel like an actual wound. Your mind goes into panic mode, scrambling to fix the hurt any way it can. But just like slapping a bandage on a broken bone won't heal it, trying to force someone to regret their choice won't heal you either. In fact, the more you react, the deeper the cycle goes. The more they pull away, the more you chase, and the weaker you appear. So if revenge isn't about lashing out, what's left? The answer isn't about them at all. It's about something far more powerful, something they'll never see coming. Indifference isn't just apathy, it's a quiet, unshakable power. When someone leaves you, they expect one of two reactions. Either you'll crumble in despair or lash out in anger. Both responses feed their ego, confirming that their actions still control your emotions. But indifference? That's the one thing they can't manipulate. Hate keeps you connected to them. Love leaves you vulnerable. Indifference, though? It erases their importance entirely. This works because of a simple psychological principle. People are drawn to what they can't have and unsettled by what they can't affect. When you disappear, not dramatically but peacefully, you create a vacuum. No angry messages, no public meltdowns, no desperate attempts to prove your worth. Just silence. And in that silence, curiosity grows. They'll wonder why you're not reacting. They'll question whether you ever cared at all. Most importantly, they'll start to doubt their own decision. Because when someone expects to leave wreckage behind and instead finds you unbroken, it shakes their entire narrative. Take the story of a woman who was abruptly left by her fiancé after 6 years together. Instead of chasing him, she deleted his number, archived their photos, and poured herself into her career. She traveled, took up boxing, and rebuilt her life without a single public dig at him. A year later, he reached out, confessing he'd expected her to fall apart, but her silence had haunted him. By then, though, she'd outgrown him. That's the power of indifference. It doesn't just protect you, it transforms you into someone they no longer recognize, and suddenly, they're the ones left wondering what they lost. The moment you stop giving someone the reaction they expect is the moment you take back control. Because the truth is, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's nothing. And nothing is the one thing they'll never know how to fight. Revenge isn't about lowering yourself to their level, it's about rising so far above it that their departure becomes the catalyst for your greatest transformation. This is where you stop wasting energy on someone who chose to leave and start investing it in the one person who will never abandon you, yourself. The first and most crucial step is complete detachment. No calls, no texts, no late-night social media deep dives into their profiles. Every time you check up on them, you reopen the wound and reset your healing. Block, delete, and remove anything that ties you to them. This isn't about playing games, it's about self-preservation. Silence is your shield, and distance is your power. The longer you go without reacting, the weaker their hold on you becomes. Your body and mind are the foundation of your comeback. Start moving, whether it's lifting weights, running, yoga, or even just long walks. Exercise isn't just about looking good, it's about reclaiming control over your energy. Pair that with mental healing, therapy, journaling, meditation, or whatever helps you process the pain without drowning in it. Pick up old hobbies or discover new ones. The goal? To remind yourself that joy exists beyond them. Nothing stings more for someone who left you than seeing you thrive without them. Pour yourself into your career, education, or creative passions. Learn a new skill, take on challenges, and build a life so impressive that their absence becomes a footnote in your story. Success isn't just about money or status, it's about proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. At first, you might have to fake it, smile when you don't feel like it, dress up even if you're just staying home, go out with friends even when you'd rather isolate. But slowly, something shifts. The act becomes real. People notice. They're drawn to your energy. And when word gets back to the person who left you, because it always does, they'll realize something unsettling. You didn't just move on, you upgraded. Take the story of a man who was dumped after his girlfriend claimed he'd never amount to anything. Instead of wallowing, he channeled all his pain into building a business. 5 years later, he was financially free, and she slid into his DMs with an apology he never responded to. Or consider the woman who, after her divorce, went back to school, got her dream job, and traveled the world while her ex remained stuck in the same bitter cycle. These people didn't seek revenge, they became unreachable. And that's the sweetest payback of all. This is how you win. Not by fighting them, but by outgrowing them so completely that their opinion no longer holds weight. The best revenge isn't just moving on, it's becoming someone they wish they never let go of. Here's an uncomfortable truth about human nature. People can accept being hated far more easily than being forgotten. When you move on effortlessly, when you stop reacting, stop chasing, and instead pour that energy into building a life that excites you, it does something unexpected. It gets under their skin. But because their ego was prepared for your pain, not your peace. They expected to remain the villain or the victim in your story, but instead, you've erased their role entirely. Think about it. When someone leaves, they often secretly hope you'll struggle without them. It validates their choice, feeds their sense of importance. But when you thrive, when they see you laughing with new friends, achieving goals they never believed you could, or simply glowing with a happiness that has nothing to do with them, that's when doubt creeps in. Did I make a mistake? Are they better off without me? Why don't they care? These questions gnaw at them far longer than any angry confrontation ever could. This isn't speculation, it's psychology. Studies show that people are wired to seek validation even from those they've rejected. When you deny them that, when you become a living example of how little their absence affects you, it disrupts their narrative. They may try to re-enter your life, test your boundaries, or even subtly sabotage your progress. But here's the key: you don't have to engage. Your indifference isn't a tactic, it's a result of genuine growth. And that's what makes it so powerful. Living well isn't just about showing them what they lost. It's about realizing you were never losing anything in the first place. The moment you stop needing revenge is the moment you've already won. Because the ultimate power move isn't making them regret leaving you. It's proving to yourself that you never needed them to stay. There's a strange phenomenon that happens when you truly start moving on. Just as you begin to forget them, they suddenly remember you. It's almost predictable. Once they catch wind of your glow-up, once they realize you're not sitting around waiting, that's when the texts start. Maybe it's a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Or a late night, "I've been thinking about you." They might even frame it as concern, "I just wanted to check in." But make no mistake, this isn't about you. It's about their ego scrambling to reconcile the fact that you're doing just fine without them. So what do you do when they come back? First, pause. Ask yourself, why now? Is it because they've genuinely changed, or because your indifference has made them question their choice? More often than not, it's the latter. People rarely return because they've had some grand epiphany. They return because your growth has made you intriguing again. And while it might feel tempting to give them another chance, remember, you're not the same person you were when they left. You've outgrown the version of yourself that accepted less than you deserved. That's why the real question isn't, should I take them back? It's, why would I? Unless they've done the deep, uncomfortable work to change, not just said they've changed, history will repeat itself. And you've worked too hard to hand your peace back to someone who already walked away with it once. Temporary validation might feel good in the moment, but self-respect lasts forever. So if they come back, hear them out if you want, but measure their words against their actions. And if your gut says, this isn't enough, trust it. Because the greatest flex isn't letting them back in, it's realizing you don't even want them anymore. The closure you've been waiting for was never going to come from them. It was always inside you. And now that you've found it, there's nothing left to prove. Let's bring this full circle. The best revenge was never about them, it was always about you. Not about making them regret, but about reaching a place where their regret doesn't matter. Not about winning them back, but about realizing you were never losing anything worth keeping. When you focus on building a life so vibrant, so purposeful, so unshakably yours that their absence becomes a blessing in disguise, that's when you've truly won. One day you'll look back at this moment, the heartbreak, the confusion, the pain, and you'll thank them for leaving. Not because they deserved your gratitude, but because their exit forced you to find a strength you didn't know you had. You'll see how their goodbye cleared space for better things, better people, a better you. And when that day comes, you won't just be over them, you'll be beyond them. Now it's your turn. Who's the person you're going to prove wrong? Not for their sake, but for yours? Drop a comment below. Tell me who you're leaving in the past as you step into this next chapter. And if this video resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going. Because your comeback story isn't just yours. It's proof for everyone watching that walking away is only the beginning of something greater. The best revenge? It's already yours. You just have to claim it.